Morning, everybody. It is Thursday, March 16th, 2023. 9:30 in the morning. Question of the day. With our American society at odds with everything from what is a woman, what is a man, is God real? Is windmills and electric cars sustainable? I want everybody to ask the question, and I'm going to ask that question. If we have a World War III, it is universally agreed that unlike World War I and World War II, this war will find itself on North, or let's just say American soil. North America, South America, it don't matter. It is going to find itself on our soil. Especially because we are the biggest, biggest dog in the fight. Now, what is the question? The question is, what happens to all these millennials who are incredibly soft in mind and body, start seeing war? What happens to these feminazis when all of a sudden, their problems and their stage is taken away because reporters are now going to report war? What happens when the TikTokers aren't getting the views because people are wanting to know where the next bomb is hitting? And what happens with fifth generation warfare? Cyber warfare. EMPs, guerrilla warfare, the war of the mind and the war of propaganda. Our government is so mistrusted by such a large portion of its people, and above all else, news organizations are becoming less and less trustworthy. They're not reporting just the news. Report the facts. Let the people create their opinion off the facts. Not report an opinion based on an observation of some of the facts. We're getting so much opinion versus fact from our news. It's hard to tell what's real and what's not, and what's fact and what's someone else's opinion of a fact. Facts are facts, but your fact is only a fact in your mind or in your situation. There is a difference between what you think of as a fact and what a fact actually is. Your fact is generally a cherry-picked portion of the fact, mixed and sprinkled liberally with opinion. When they sent news crews into Vietnam, and they were allowed total access. They were no longer censored by the government. You can actually see a difference in what the general populace thought of war. In World War I, thousands died in excruciating situations, mustard gas, chemical warfare, just people's skin melting off of their bodies while they were alive. But that wasn't shown to the American populace, because the American populace, the military needed more volunteers, and they needed more people to be pro the war. So they censored what news was given to the people. And, technology was different back then. movie cameras and film and stuff like that. There was no, cameras on your phone and stuff. And neither was there in Vietnam. But because in Vietnam, news organizations were allowed to censor their own footage. They would take this raw footage and they gave it to the people, pretty much raw. And unfortunately, guys, war is dirty. It is disgusting. It is ugly. And it is horrifying. Imagine your worst nightmare come to life. That's pretty much war. You're walking down the street and all of a sudden a car pulls up and a guy jumps out or a woman jumps out screaming, some kind of obscenity, and then the car itself blows up, takes out a building, and you're laying on the street, limbs ripped from your body because of the explosion, basically bleeding out until hopefully somebody would come and help you. When America got its first taste of what war was really like, Vietnam went south for the Americans because it was ugly and Americans did not want to see that, and they did not want to be a part of that. Even though World War II was only a few years past World War I, and America was weary of war from World War I. Not only did they find resolve, they took it and they made it their own, and they defeated the enemies. Despite the enemy being very, very, very smart and very, very cunning and very, very, very dirty in how they fought. The Nazi Party created a new face of war, propaganda used against a military. Although chemical warfare was not used, chemicals were administered. The German people, the Nazi Party, gave its soldiers gum laced with uppers and cocaine and stimulants that made them hard to kill. and could fight for hours and hours and hours without tire. This created the Blitzkrieg, in which Americans were slowly beat back, and the Allies were slowly beat back because of the non-stop onslaught. Do you not think that techniques like that will be used in the coming wars? You can bet they will be. Feminists, with their hammers and their stage and their crying for, whatever they're crying at that moment, will stop. Traditional gender roles will revert back. Homosexual men, well, you got a penis, you're a man. You're probably going to be fighting. Women who think they want to be men, some of them might decide they want to fight. But my thoughts is they're going to see war and its bloodiness, and they're going to say, hey, I'll be a woman. I'll cook. I'll stay back and toe the line because it'll be safe. Nobody wants to be thrown into the fray. Men, women, no, they don't want to fight. But we've got these little dumbasses who think they want to fight. They want to burn, stuff down because they can and they can get away with it. What happens whenever they go into sabotage stuff and they're met with a barrage of machine gun bullets? That'll stop their little asses. Men will become men, and women will be women if World War III happens. Let's go, Brandon.